Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. 10 islands nobody wants to buy for any price. Own an island? Awesome! Talk about living the dream life, right? Except who can afford something like that? Movie stars, business tycoons, the kind of billionaire most people wish upon a shooting star they might be one day. Guess what? We've got a secret. You don't have to be rich to own an island. Anybody can get their hands on one, and it won't cost you an arm and a leg. One warning though, owning an island isn't everything it's cracked up to be. Sure, it sounds exciting and adventurous, but there are a lot of hassles and headaches that go along with it. Some islands come with more headaches than others. However, fair warning, while some places might suffer from natural issues such as a high tide or just the lack of accessibility options, others have a dark past or come with a lot of hidden costs. Well, to find out more, here are 10 islands nobody wants to buy for any price. Number 10. Pitcairn Island. Even if you can't afford to buy your own Pacific island, the next best thing is just to live on one for free. And although it sounds too good to be true, such an offer does exist. Pitcairn Island is in the Pacific, and authorities are begging you to live there. The mutineers of HMS Bounty were the first inhabitants. Despite being only 2 square miles, the land is plentiful, and the weather is always good with the temperature remaining above 17 degrees Celsius all year round. The government even provides settlers with a free plot of land to build on. Yet no one wants to go there, and its population has now shrunk to less than 50. Perhaps one reason could be the 2004 child abuse scandal that became headline news around the world and led to 6 of its inhabitants being imprisoned. Perhaps another is that there are no jobs and only one general store, and you have to place food orders 3 months in advance. Supplies come from New Zealand, more than 3,000 miles away. It also costs 5,000 New Zealand dollars, which is about 3,383 US dollars, and 3 days each way to get yourself there in the first place. Apart from that, the environmental problems across the Pacific region is another issue. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that will take just 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell and you get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works. Number 9. Geddes Island. If you don't want to get away from it all and fancy an island nearer to civilization, how about Geddes Island? It is a pleasantly wooded island situated in the Delaware River just 100 yards from the town of Easton. It seems to be a bargain for only $150,000, but there's a catch. The ghost of one Charles Geddes haunts the island. He brutally murdered Margaret Lawal, his pregnant wife, just outside Easton in 1833. After a quick trial where the jury took a whole 10 minutes to find him guilty, he was sentenced to death by hanging. Such was the publicity surrounding his crime that this island was chosen to stage his execution so the crowd of 20,000 could witness the hanging from the riverbanks at Easton. Unfortunately, it didn't go to plan. During the first attempt, the rope snapped and Geddes fell to the floor and had to wait 20 minutes before the scaffold was made ready. He expired at the second attempt. A bit of an extreme way to get an island named after you. Anyways, if all that doesn't bother you, go ahead. Get that piece of land for yourself and build your own luxury retreat. Number 8. Little Rocky Island. How about a Canadian island residence just off the coast of Nova Scotia for only 98,000 Canadian dollars? It's 8 acres of beautiful mature pine forest, has a white sandy beach that runs right around it, and it's a sheltered location. Protected from inclement weather, its warmest month is August with an average temperature of 16 degrees Celsius. The coldest is February when it drops to -8 degrees Celsius. Although there's no existing property on the island, it is ready for development. However, if you're wanting to buy yourself an island, there's just one slight problem. Despite its name, Little Rock Island is only an island at high tide. When the tide goes out, a strip of land connects it to the mainland. Perhaps the reasonable price tag reflects that Little Island is only a part-time island, and well, for that matter, nobody's ready to buy it. Number 7. Fort Carroll. Fort Carroll is an abandoned fort built in the middle of the Patapsco River during the American Civil War to protect the approach of Baltimore. By 1921, it was abandoned and stayed that way until 1958, when it was sold to a private developer who saw a business opportunity by turning it into a tourist attraction complete with a casino, hotel, and restaurants. Unfortunately for the developer, a judge ruled that the island was in Baltimore County, where gambling wasn't legal. Since then, Many developers have considered the site, but the issues of having an access, utilities, construction costs, and well, the lack of gambling authorization all make it a bad choice. Number 6. Half Island. Looking for islands for sale in Canada? Half Island is in Canada. Its stunning natural beauty is less than a mile from the mainland and located close to Walkersville, a small community in Cape Breton, and is 10 miles from Port Hawkesbury. Hawkesbury is the place where you'll find all the requirements that today's civilization offers: restaurants, hotels, a Walmart, car dealerships, schools, a public pool, hockey arena, fitness centers, and a Nova Scotia community college. If you're into fishing, watching wildlife, and the great outdoors in general, this place is for you. The area is famous for all manner of sailing activities, from yachting to paddling your own canoe. The fishing is good with plenty of cod, sea trout, silver perch, Atlantic salmon, and shellfish just waiting to jump on your line. The woods are alive with deer and bald eagles soar overhead. You might even get to see the passing whale or two. However, if you're looking for luxury, forget it. Its $59,000 price tag includes the island's only habitation, an Airstream camper shell left by a previous owner. Considering not many people are ready to let go of the everyday necessities offered by the city life, that low price tag is not getting any traction. Number 5. Mato Matatahi. French Polynesia is one of the most spectacular and beautiful parts of the world. It's often called a paradise, comprising over 100 islands scattered over 1,400 miles of the Pacific Ocean, ranging from high, lushly vegetated tree-filled islands to white sand-surrounded atolls and blue lagoons. Isn't it exciting to know that there are islands for sale in that paradise? Like many other islands in French Polynesia, Mato Matatahi is up for sale for just over $260,000. White beaches and a blue lagoon surround it, and it's everyone's dream island. But one might ask, why that low price if the place is such a gem? Something doesn't add up. Well, from 1960 to 1996, France carried out 193 nuclear tests in French Polynesia in the South Pacific. Despite them claiming that the controlled explosions were clean, scientists have discovered high levels of thyroid cancer and leukemia throughout Polynesia. Then there's the ever-present danger of rising sea levels and extreme weather events, including cyclones, storms, and tsunamis that create floods, landslides, erosion, and reef damage. The island also suffers from droughts, and many are totally dependent on rainfall as a source of fresh water. Perhaps that's not the bargain it first seems. So as long as you're okay with growing a third ear and turning green, all while facing a drought and fighting Mother Nature, it's all cool. Number 4. Doxa Island. How about a stunning Adriatic location? Doxa Island is on the market for just €2 million. Inside of Dubrovnik, it comes complete with woodland, private beaches, and its very own Franciscan monastery. Unfortunately, its grisly past may explain why the island has been for sale for over 3 years. At the end of World War II, Yugoslav partisans entered Dubrovnik and rounded up over 300 people they accused of being German collaborators. Some were brought to Doxa Island where they were executed without trial. Their bodies remained there unburied for decades. They received a respectful burial in 2010. Out of all the bodies, the authorities could only identify 18, leaving the identity of the others a mystery. Today, the locals claim that the ghosts of the dead haunt the island, demanding justice, which is probably why there are no buyers or tourists lurking around the place. Number 3. Snake Island. Even if you had the cash, you couldn't buy this picturesque island just off the Brazilian coast. Also known as Ilha da Clamada Grande, Snake Island is so dangerous that the Brazilian government has banned all human visitors. Why? Well, it's the home of one of the most venomous snakes in the world. The golden lancehead is a type of pit viper that can grow up to 18 inches long and is so poisonous that one bite will kill a person within an hour. Sounds horrific. You'd be seriously unlucky to stumble across this snake, but not on Snake Island. It's estimated that the island is home to more than 4,000 of them. That's equivalent to one snake every square foot. But this raises another big question. Who did the counting? Would you be willing to buy this place for any price? We don't think anyone in their right mind would even pay $1 for this venom fest. Number 2. Isola La Gaiola. How about islands for sale in the Mediterranean and the stunning Bay of Naples? Isola La Gaiola is a beautiful picture postcard island with ruins dating back to ancient Rome, a rustic villa, clear seas, and so close to the shore that you could swim there. So how come today it's a deserted Romanesque ruin that no one wants to buy? Could it be something to do with the rumors that the island is cursed? Whether you're superstitious or not, the facts about the unfortunate fate of its past owners are screaming of a curse. In the 1920s, its owner was found murdered, his corpse hidden in a rolled-up carpet. Soon afterwards, his wife drowned in an accident. The next owner died of a heart attack. The one after went insane and committed suicide, as did the next owner, an heir to the Fiat company. The island then passed to his nephew, who died of an extremely rare type of cancer. Finally, its last owner went to jail for bad business practices. Can this all be blamed on the island? Who knows? But it's no great surprise that no one's rushing to buy it. Number 1. Poveglia. It is one of the most attractive islands for sale in the Mediterranean, just off the coast of Italy, and only gondolas ride from the heart of the picturesque city of Venice. Split into 3 parts, its 72,000 square meters contains the ruins of a church, a hospital, an asylum, and a 12th century bell tower that once belonged to the Church of San Vitale, demolished in 1806. It sure seems like a picturesque, albeit run-down, paradise. But there is a downside. It's also known as one of the most haunted places on Earth. Its history tells a grim tale. In the Middle Ages, it was used to house victims of the plague that swept through Europe. It became the last destination for thousands of infected people. Their bodies were dumped into mass graves. During the 1920s, it housed a mental institution where, due to its isolation, abusive and inhumane medical procedures went on. The doctor responsible took his own life by throwing himself off the bell tower. The hospital closed in 1968 when the island was abandoned. Since then, it's been bought and sold 3 times. The first 2 owners soon gave up on the place due to many mysterious and frightening occurrences they witnessed. In 2014, it was bought by a businessman for around $500,000 who hoped to develop the island as a holiday destination. However, due to local pressure, the sale received a non-congruous label. The Italian authorities rejected the deal due to stringent development rules of the authorities. Now, do you still fancy making an offer?